Hello, I'm Margaret Loki, and this is CNN. Breaking news, desperate for relief, parents are taking an unusual step to help their children plagued with epilepsy. The relief, however, comes in the most unlikely form, marijuana. There are studies being done at Texas A&M Health and Science College Center of Medicine. Recently, good light has been shined on medical marijuana, especially for young children with epilepsy. Delta-9 THC and CBD are the main ingredients in marijuana. THC is a psychoactive component in the plant, while CBD doesn't cause any sort of high and isn't thought to be addictive. Preliminary studies, largely on animal models, have shown that CBD might have some anti-seizure potentials. There are currently 19 clinical trials studying CBD for epilepsy. Researchers are studying why older parents tend to produce offspring with shorter lifespans. They are addressing this question through the study of a long-lived seabird, the European shag. A team of international researchers found that chicks produced by older mothers and fathers had significantly greater telomere loss than chicks produced by younger parents, but the loss appeared to occur during nestling growth rather than during prenatal periods. Scientists have little knowledge of why they have shorter lifespans. Like humans, fruit flies sleep at night. Caffeine affects their sleep, and if they get a lousy night's sleep, it can affect their memory performance. But what can they tell us about the connection between sleep deprivation and metabolic disorders like diabetes and obesity? A lot, actually. According to a new study that is the first to identify that a conserved gene, translin, works as a modulator of sleep in response to metabolic changes. A scientist says the identification of genes regulating sleep-feeding interactions will provide important insight into how the brain integrates and controls expression of complex behavior. Our skin is covered in millions and millions of bacteria, and for the most part, they're good for us. They keep us healthy. However, for patients with lymphoma, it's a rather different story. New research shows that toxins in certain bacteria help cancer cells gain control over healthy cells. The Danish Cancer Society's Break Cancer collection contributed $500,000 to the research project. A research team at Massachusetts General Hospital is investigating how the earliest stages of life might have discovered a way the first living cells could have met a key challenge, maintaining a constant internal environment even when an external condition is constantly changing. In a report receiving advanced online publication in Nature Chemistry, the investigators describe finding that the dilution of simple cell's internal content that takes place when the cell grows increases in the activity of the internal enzyme, maintaining the activity at a constant level relative to cellular volume. For the first time, scientists have confirmed For the first time, scientists have confirmed the hypothesis that as people age, they accumulate gene mutations in their mitochondria, the cell's energy source. The team has discovered that induced pluripotent stem, or iPS cells, a type of stem cell derived from patients' skin or blood cells, contain faulty mitochondrial DNA. Westerns have less diverse gut microbiome compared to hunters and gatherers, but how and why is still a mystery. Now, researchers describe an intermediate gut microbiome from the Central African Republic's Bantu community, a traditional population that incorporates some Western lifestyle practices. The discovery offers insight into what factors may drive our microbiome differences, which are thought to be linked to the metabolic changes and disorders in Western populations. Cell size is a critical trait for improved yields of algal biofuels, scientists have discovered. Unlike the textbook's paradigm of cell proficiency, where cells double in size and immediately split into two, new daughter cells, and many of the green algal relatives can enlarge more than 10 times the size before they start dividing. Sorry. The Zika virus. It's an extremely dangerous virus that affects pregnant women and their babies that comes from a female mosquito. Cornell University research shows that genetic cues from the male mosquito may be controlling mosquito-borne diseases such as dengue fever and Zika. Coming up, how fungus foes become fungus friends, and how a new virus is human-made. The spread of a disease that is decimating global bee populations is human-made and driven from the European honeybee population. Researchers have concluded that the only way to limit or to prevent this from continuing in the future is for us, the human race, to stop. Paleontologists report to us that a new genus and species of fossil sheep from the Zandia Basin in Tibet The finding extends the fossil records for the sheep into the basin of the Tibetan Plateau, suggesting that the Tibetan Plateau, possibly including Taishishan Altia, represents the ancestral home ranges of mountain sheep, that these fossil stocks were the ultimate source of all extant species, which is consistent with the out of Tibet hypothesis regarding the origins of the Ice Age mega-herbivores. Coral getting stressed? Maybe about current events? I'm not so sure, but a unique section of coral DNA can indicate a higher tolerance to the environmental stress, researchers have revealed for the very first time. Same-sex sexual behavior is common in animals, but puzzles evolutionary biologists since it doesn't carry the same obvious benefits as heterosexual courtship behaviors that lead to mating and production of offspring. A study sheds new light on the perseverance of same-sex sexual behavior in the animal kingdom. And when do fungus foes become fungus friends? When a few modifications in the genome turn a fungal plant pathogen into a potentially beneficial organism they can be. And finally, proton-conducting material found in electrosensory organs of sharks sounds a little made up, but sharks, skates, and rays can detect very weak electrical fields produced by prey and other animals using an array of unusual organs. Exactly how these electrosensory organs work has remained much of a mystery, but a new study has revealed an important clue that may have implications for other fields of research. I'm Margaret Loki, signing off for CNN News.